a minimum viable offer or a minimum viable product, right? So what I did is I decided to look at all these things that I had to offer to my client and then put it in a step by step format so that my client experiences the outcome that they desire. Now, the best way to think about this is imagine your client is stuck on an island when there is less food, there is less shelter, they are stuck over here and they are not happy. And then there is this another island where everything that this client dreams about is present on this island: more water, more fun, social life, everything. Now, this client needs to go from island one to island number two. However, there's like a huge sea and there are sharks floating in the sea, right? And you have to build a boat or a ship that will take this client from island one to island number two. If you were to do that, if you were to engineer something like this, what would you go about including in your offer? Well, that's exactly what I did, right? First thing I did is I decided to name my offer something cool and fancy like 90 Days Accelerator. And what I decided to do is create it into a step by step format. As you can see, step one, what we would do is I thought, okay, so if I have to take my client from island A to island B, what's the first thing that I would do? Well, I would first retrieve assets from them. This means that I would probably go about, taking their social media accounts, their ad manager, their email, and setting up any missing asset that they might have. And then I decided to actually set up their landing page and start developing their video sales letter. Let's say that's the thing that I required, right? And once that was done, I would write their ad copies, help them film the creatives, get everything in line. And once that was done, I would go into step number four, where I would apply small budgets and launch these ad campaigns and basically figure out which one is working, which one is not working by using a concept called as split testing. Then step number five, I would optimize the campaigns. This means I would start getting rid or cull the losers which are not performing within the KPIs that I desire, and then start optimizing more for the campaigns that were producing a lot of sales. And then step six, I would put more money into the campaigns that were working well. And as a result of this, the offer of whatever my client was doing would scale to the next level. So this is what I was doing, and this ended up being my MVP. And again, if you're doing e-commerce or anything, there were subtle changes here and there, but pretty much the whole concept remained like this. And then my marketing message sort of became something like this: we help coaches and e commerce businesses scale through paid traffic and sales funnels, right? This is what we decide to do. And our price for the front end would be somewhere around $10,000 to $30,000 for 90 days if you're selling abroad. But if you're watching this in India, somewhere between 1.8 to 3 lakhs is what I've noticed for a 90-day duration to be an ideal price to begin with. And then for back end, right, once your 90-day period is completed with the client, you might think, okay, now what? Well, for back end, we would recommend that selling anywhere between 12 to $40,000 a year if you're selling abroad, and 7 to 15 lakh rupees a year if you're selling in India. And doing this would allow you to already stand out. Why? Because now clients will be retaining. This means you can spend more money on acquisition to acquire clients, which will make you stand out from the crowd, because now you can spend more money than your competitors to acquire these clients, because your LTV or your lifetime value than your competitors would be higher. And then in terms of delivery mechanism, we had one front end, which was, a DFI service. And then for your back end, what I would highly recommend is also doing the DFI, just like how I said, but also have some sort of mastermind where you could add some sort of networking event where your clients might come once a year, twice a year, or 4 times a year, and network with each other, learn from you even more, get to know more about the industry, and as a result, take things to the next level. Because hey, when you put more than one person, one smart person or two smart people in a room, and then they start to network and bond, there are a lot of great things that come out that you won't even know was possible. So that being said, in terms of client access channel, I decided to use outbound marketing, which was cold approach, LinkedIn, and Facebook outbound, along with some Facebook ads. And this was more than sufficient for me to actually take my business to the next level.